First, with the question of employability versus unemployment, is taken up to the youth to start their own programs and businesses so that they do not waste their time, especially with this recent COVID-19 lockdown. And this time around, we look at youth startups, their measures to cut down youth unemployment. And this time we have taken it upon ourselves to visit them from where they are, and we test exactly how they have been able to manage their own businesses, they being their own CEOs, and trying to push it up to the very best that they can. This time we engage with people, the youth that have started ice cream parlors. We see somebody who has done cakes, and also one who has done photography, and these are thriving businesses that have made it up to a point of being CEOs at a very young and tender age. And I will have my other host, who is Adonia, who will be able to take them through the interviews and see how best they can be able to explain to us their journey to do with their businesses. Thank you very much. This is ATV, the Youth Feedback, and I am Sam Aibisiwe, and we stream live every Sunday at 11 a.m. straight out to Adonia for the interviews. Thank you very much.
A viewer is still talking about youth self-employment. It is the Youth Feedback. Trust me, today, this very Sunday, we have very elegant ladies, very elegant Ugandans that have ventured in self-employment. And today we are still continuing with our very own Ugandans. I have very good still citizens, youth that have inspired many across all around this town of ours here in Western Uganda. And they will introduce themselves because I am sure by the fact that they are inspiring many, they can introduce themselves. I'll begin with our very own.
I'm Nablonge Shamim, yeah, CEO Perfect Ice Cream Parlor.
Perfect Ice Cream Parlor. You understand what it means because it is now venturing in ice cream. Yes, please.
Yes, I'm Simple Doreen, CEO Impobex.
Impobex, that is baking, I understand. That is, those are our visitors and guests today. One ventured in ice cream, the second one ventured in baking. Now, I'll begin with still the one of baking, Simple Doreen. What inspired you to go into baking? Why not ice cream? Why not anything else? Why baking?
Basically, it's because I'm passionate about baking and actually cooking, but basically baking. So I inspired myself.
Yeah, so that is why you drove, maybe where you got the inspiration from. So, Shamim.
Yeah, I went into ice cream. I'm an ice cream lover. I love ice cream.
You eat a lot of ice cream.
If I started up a business, my fellow ice cream lovers would support.
Wow.
I would give them the best.
So you are so passionate of ice cream.
Yeah.
So our viewers now, the story begins with passion. I saw it, that is the bottom line. Passion. Now, I want us to start this story in a way that we are students at the same time venturing into business. How old is your business, Shamim?
Maybe 1 year.
1 year.
My first branch at ECP.
Yes.
1 year.
Simple. How?
One-day business.
Wow. Simple. How old is your business?
It's already 1 year and a half.
Already 1 year and a half. So we have already gotten as a reason as why you maybe started off that business because of passion and you are eating a lot of ice cream, spending a lot. Now, we understand that you are students. Are you funded to do this business? Shamim?
Yeah, I was not funded. Yeah, it's not funded. Basically, saved the money during vacation. I was working. Basically, saving.
Okay. So it all started from savings. Still, are you trying to mean that you had a lot of savings? Because you understand, for us youth now, we have small monies to save. For you, how much were you saving that time?
I was simply, I was working with someone. Okay, they had a boss. So my boss used to give me a salary. At the same time, if I brought a customer, I always got my own money.
Yes, yes.
I used to save all that money. I became selfless. I became so focused on what I wanted. So finally, I got it.
So those are two lessons: being selfless and passion.
Yeah,
Wow.
and being focused. Just being focused. See something like that, let me go for this thing which is cheaper than the one I really want, the one I'm passionate about.
Is it the same story with you? Like, how much did you have from the start? And I mean,
Actually, I wasn't even working, but I'd saved some money from high school. I actually had 150,000.
150,000. Okay, so you had 150,000 start on cakes. That seems little pockets.
That is what you think. Like, if you keep thinking that I will wait until I get this amount of money, let's say 1 million for me to start, you
Okay.
will never start. So whatever you have, you start and eventually you see yourself.
Mm.
It's about you loving something and going for it. I had 150,000, I bought first baked eggs at home for us to eat.
Okay,
So I started like that. I sold them, eventually started serving and giving to schools. My friends kept coming in to support me, buying birthday cakes, and yeah, that is how it.
oh, that sounds also so good. Now, still on you, have you thought of your business growing so big, like
Yeah.
from where it is now to a very big business?
Oh yeah, I want to have a bakery someday. I want to be one of the best bakers in this world. Yeah.
Shamim, have you thought of your ice cream parlor being like an outstanding, or you want to just earn something and run out of it?
And now, this is my second branch. So I have
This is your second branch.
yeah, I have a branch at Tuesday, the very first one, this is the second. I want to have the biggest para not focus, okay, in Western Uganda, not focus on the para like any other place. Basically, here, here, we don't have that thing. We don't have a big ice cream para, just ice cream. We don't
Where
have-
do you get your markets? Like suppose you now you're at Iseview, you have a branch. Now here at Woodville you have a branch. Where do you get?
My friends were my first marketeer.
Yes.
My friends came first, then they informed everyone. At first, I was so scared. I was like, who is going to eat this ice cream? But a friend brings a friend, and their friend brings another, so everything. So everyone,
So you don't stress looking for markets.
I don't.
Mm.
It is always better for the market to get its own. Whenever you stress, you spend more money.
Okay.
You make arguments. Make something good. When you ask anyone, they'll tell you that tell us some nice ice cream. That just perfect something.
Okay.
Be perfect, be contented, be smart, be clean. Customers will just be attracted by that.
Wow, that is good. How do you get your customers? What entices your customers to come? Or
It is actually the same story. Someone will buy a cake from me. First, it was my family. My family first. It was the very first to support me and buy cakes for me to eat. Then after my friends came in, and then friends of my friends, family friends, someone would buy a cake. They'd give it to a friend, and that friend would cake like that. Sometimes I advertise my social media, mostly WhatsApp. My friends actually to know some that you don't know. So eventually, I see them people coming in like that.
now, our viewers, I want you to know one thing. I am handling students, and now the reason as well we are here, basically, these are students, but they are venturing in business. They are self-employed. Now, the question that we're going to ask them now is how do they balance class and business? We need to first know what class are you? I mean, what level of education are you?
First year student.
A first year student. I thought you were a third year because this business seems to be for people that have
No, I'm a first year student.
first year student. Yes.
The challenges are there, but we try to stay focused. Lectures, I get like my brother's books, area, I go for lectures.
Okay. So you find you're balancing the two.
Yeah. And I use my night time for coursework.
Is a profit you get from here like additional to your tuition, so you also go ahead and support your own tuition. That is so good. How do you balance classwork plus business then?
Basically, I have a mentality: class is class and business. When it's time for class, I'm there. When it's time for business, I'm there. I do not have a specific place where I sit. Actually, to maybe say I have a shop, I bake from home and I bake from work. So if I'm not around and maybe I'm interrupted, my mom comes into bed. Here I try to see how I can handle it. It is class, it is class, it is.
But if you find you are at a verge like you need money, you're pushed to the wall, you need money, at the same time you have this stressing post-work, how to do it? What do you do? And you know that this business that has come, really it has money on it.
It has money, but again, school is my priority. Why? The course I'm doing, I'm looking forward to actually go for that.
Which course do you do?
Petroleum engineering.
Petroleum engineering, and at the same time into a business that needs a lot of time.
First class, then that money comes later. And there is no money there is no way someone will come abroad and they want a cake on that day. It takes time, it takes a day for you to get your cake.
That's a very good engagement of your side. Now I want to know, like, Shamin, have you sat down there and be like, okay, this is a fruit of my sweat. I have enjoyed this out of my business. Really, this is what I can stand and say, this is my thing.
I have a piece of land.
No, the viewer needs to, you facing the camera. She's in year one, and she has a minute. She's in year one. She has 2 branches of ice cream parlor. Now she's going to tell us what other benefits she has.
Yeah, I managed to buy myself a lot of land in Harare last year.
Last year, where was the money from?
That's from ice cream. After the season, after the festive
Get serious, Shamim. Get serious.
Yeah,
You're
after
making us feel jealous. Out of ice cream.
Yeah, after the festive season, I got some money and I was like, by that time I had a thought of investing into another business,
Okay.
another branch. So I decided to buy a piece of land.
Are you finding yourself different from any other girl outside here? No, that is a question that I can answer, but I want you to just take a shot and answer it.
According to me, being a down-to-earth person, take time to see what and just move forward.
Let me be funny at some point. Are you a mature student or you're still the same level? Your years are corresponding to your class, because the things you're doing, one, realize that they are rare to be done. So where do you derive your inspiration from? Do you have a mentor? Your parents, are they so much tough on you?
No, my parents are not tough, but they advise me. I talked to my dad. So when I had money, I was like, I'm having money. I don't know what to do. It's a lot of money. Buy a piece of land. Not rush to, not pay to ship it to be there. Anytime you can either sell it or build rentals in Asia. Anything. It's an achievement.
Are you regretting starting your business? Simple. Are you regretting starting your business? You're proud of yourself. If someone came for classes, like, would you proudly teach them how to?
Currently, I have classes, and anyone can come in to learn. If it's school, then I'm prepared to be paid.
Okay. Wow. Our viewers, I think this has been something very much educative for us. It is a youth feedback. We're not here for only entertainment, which is part of like a wholesome growing up of an individual, but we are talking about business, serious business. It is our future that we need to formulate and decide how it will be. Now, as we finish, Shamim, to begin with, what do you have for the people? Because basically you girls, you are talking to the girls outside here, because girls will be like, no, me, I have my man, you will provide this, you provide makeup, provide this, but I see you are so much different. What do you have for the girls outside here?
What I tell my girls, I call them my girls. 'Cause I have a
You need to speak this facing to the camera because it must be tough. Eh?
Yeah, like me, I consider girls as sisters. So what I can tell the girls, no man will give you what you want, but your hands can. Don't feel ashamed to go on the streets and start up anything. Because right now, yeah, like some people tell me I'm on the street, yeah, I'm on the street, but I get what I want. I don't break anyone, and I don't do nasty to get anything. So just believe in yourself. Don't let anything stop you.
Wow, that is so beautiful. Madam Baker, what are you guys called? Like people who do baking? Yeah, what do you have for, because many girls are inspired to do baking, like because it looks a very smart thing, like baking and delivering. What do you have for them?
I would actually advise them to go for what they want. It doesn't matter the amount of money you have, and if you're lucky and your parents can support you to actually be better, so go for what you want. Do it with passion. First, believe in God, then believe in yourself, because with God, everything is possible. When you have God by your side, then everything, you'll actually see everything fall in place, as long as you believe in Him and believe in yourself.
Now, I have a very funny question, and I want you to be realistic. Eh? How was the first taste of your cake? If they brought it now, would you really appreciate yourself? How was the first taste of your cake?
It was nice, actually. Surprising.
Okay, let's hope so. Did you appreciate your first ice cream?
I'm being honest, the first time I made ice cream
Yes.
and I put the milk but and it was a lot of milk, there were 10 liters, so I had no option. I used them because I was out of money. It was not nice, but my friend just told me ice cream is nice and I kept moving.
So you're still laughing over your first
Yeah.
your first product.
Yeah,
Wow. I love what has been here, and I wish we had the same faces, but it can't be recurrent. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
anytime.
Anything like you feel like you should share, like advertise your business and talk about your business in a minute, and we conclude.
Everyone out there, I just want everyone to try my ice cream. It will make a difference in your life. If you're an ice cream lover, always come here every day, trust me.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yes, cake lovers, actually not cake lovers, but those having parties, because a party can't be a party without a cake. Come in, buy a cake at actually an affordable price. I actually also deal in watches, AirPods, pascal trackers. So come in, support.
So you don't have only one business. That will be for another day. I will ask myself, what am I doing after the show? Thank you so much. Very good viewers. It is the Youth TV Youth Feedback Show every Sunday at 11 a.m. Keep us on. Please share this video, let it move, because this will be a point for one to turn over their life. It's a youth feedback. We love you and continue supporting us at AYT.
You're watching AYT TV, empowering you.
Youth that have started ISM straight out
In fashion world. Without going any further, I will introduce our very guest. Yes, allow me to introduce our guest. I won't speak out his name, no. He is in position to introduce himself so much. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Agawa Alan Mahanji,
Yes.
Mahanji family here around Mbara town.
Mm.
And I'm also very grateful to see that I'm on this show. The show that is bringing us good things around town, you know,
Yes.
showing us a lot of opportunities as the youth.
Mm.
And I really wanted to talk about this before
Yes.
because I thought we missed such in our town, you know, our
Yes.
region.
Yes.
This has not been around, but now that it is around, I'm really glad that I'm here and at the same time I've been hosted.
I'm so much grateful that I'm the first host such a person around town. I won't talk about what he does, but he's going to tell us, first of all, what is your passion?
My passion as a person, first of all, my job.
What is your job? No, he's trying to take us where you want to be.
Yeah.
What is your job now?
I like to be straightforward.
Yes.
And first of all, I'm still young,
Mm.
and most people didn't know this.
How old are you? You're saying you're young. How old are you?
I'm as young as 22 years.
Wow. 22
Uh,
years.
Yeah. So I'm doing photography. Photography on the same hand with videography.
Yes.
Though the bigger percentage is on photography. Yeah.
What is it a dream? Remember in P5 there, you were a kid playing, kicking stones here and there. At one point, did you think about doing
Sure.
photography?
That
Yes.
truly I wasn't. I had never thought of photography at the time.
Yes.
Not until, but like in senior 4, when we had a study tour, you know, those study tours in high
Yes.
school.
Kasese to Kampala.
Not until that time, when I had a small digital camera, you know, this small camera.
From where?
I even don't recall where exactly I got it
So that is
from.
where your story started.
Yeah, but
Yes.
when I got it, and I got a permission from the big people in school
Yes.
to come along with it in our study trips, that's when I put my eye in the lens of the camera
Yes.
to see what's taking place like in the photography world.
Yes.
So that's when I held my first camera in
Senior 4.
senior 4 there.
If your parents told you to do medicine or journalism or maybe law, would you really go for it since it is separate from your passion?
Probably here, that's a very good opportunity
Yes.
and a good idea from a parent
Mm.
to a son or a daughter.
Yes.
But then, you see, we have what we call, the way you say, passion.
Mm.
The person has his or her passion.
Yes.
And now, at this moment, I don't think I can change immediately to the sector of doctrine, and you know, it's not bad, but as per now,
did you
I
start
really
it
feel
now?
photography is me.
You see, Alan, you're saying photography is within you.
Yeah.
But the question is, there is a youth outside there who has failed to start and discover themselves. Now, you as Alan, how did you start? Because from senior 4 you had borrowed even a camera. Now, some of us do not have even the startup capital. Now, the question is, how did you start to get it? Did you get someone to connect you? Did you go to class and study and be perfect? How did you start?
You know, I have to cut the story
Yes.
so short.
Yes.
But in between there, senior 4 and the life after high school. Because me, I started my photography after high school, the basic photography. There, in between that period, I wasn't doing it anymore. I did it on the other trip, road trip. I stopped it from there. But then, when we had finished our project,
Yes.
and we came for the, that's where I started meandering around town. Let me call it meandering.
Yes.
Because by then, I wasn't having any work to do. As a youth, I could just, wake up, go down, go to visit my friend. Now I have to go and see my guy, my father, But now, during that moment, this is where I met someone who knew about this stuff, who knew about photography, and me actually, I was just going as a customer, just in some photo shoots. But then, when I met that guy, I kept on looking on the way he was doing his things. they were so different from what I've been seeing around. That's when I started developing the feeling of photography. It was like really so different and complex.
So from that point, you picked your passion and said, I must do photography.
Sure.
I see you have started earning. You look good, you're smart. How do you balance it? As the youth, we have a lot of expenditures now. You have to go out, you have to go having fun, take out friends. How do you have financial literacy? I mean, do you budget for your little penny that you earn?
Sure.
What encourages you and pushes you to plan for it?
I just start.
Yes.
I do really balance the leisure time, the busy time, you know. Actually, I'm lucky that in this life, I don't have the idle time.
Wow.
I don't have it. I either on
Yes.
actually most of the time I spend it doing research. You know,
You need to go out and do research and sit down and find out how to shoot very well, how to very well. Yes.
research brings up the creativity. Because research, photography push you back. And there is a lot of competition in this industry.
Yes.
So, well, you have to work hard. If you go for leisure, just you know, mostly even the leisure time, people photography. Don't know most people out there, but most people are before leisure, which is right into your industry.
Yes.
I can say maybe let's go for a road trip that we have some season program like photography. We do it not because we just go for fun, but we do it to research, we do it to know more about, you know, this industry.
Thank you so much now, Alan. Now, in this industry, see, when you're doing something, you must have a role model. Who is your role model in this industry?
My role model here, I first put the big man, my boss.
Your boss,
Yeah, Namwanja Issa.
Issa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the one who has taught me at least 90% of photography I know and videography. He's my role model, and most of the times, you know, me, I admire his ways,
Yes.
the way he does his things. It's so different that he even tells you, no, what you're doing is cool, but remember, you do this for your future. You know?
Exactly. Now you're talking about the future.
Yeah.
Most youth today see this thing of photography as for the people that have not completed school, as the people that as for the people that have not actually made it in life, and actually just holding a camera, and we tend to despise this industry. Now, what do you have for these people? Like, they come here, they take it because they are from school, they're from campus, and so they think it is for the people that have not made it in life. What do you have for them?
My friend, to talk about that issue, first of all, I would like to remind Ninja Tanchira China.
Yes, name.
Tanchira.
Right.
So, sir, to talk about that issue of people, the youth,
Despising the industry. And,
I've not experienced such yet. Though I'm just getting people admiring, asking, how do you do this? I also want to learn. People are out there, the youth, they want to know these things. But even the parents, some of them are not yet informed and think about how good this thing is. But you see, photography is not something that's joking,
yes.
because if you can just go into its financial state, only its capital, let me say, if you are to begin, it's not as simple as someone may think. Which means to start up this thing, you must be strong, you must be knowing.
Financially stable.
Starting this thing,
But
and it's not a job, you know. And someone to deal with such things, it's not someone who is
that has attained the bachelor's, that
Uh-huh.
has attained the master's.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you really know I'm going for this,
Mm.
for my survival, so I'm relying on this.
Have you gotten any benefits in this industry, like the work you're doing? Because I know you're some around 2-3 years old in the industry.
Yeah,
Have you
sure.
gotten any benefits? That I would say to myself, Alan, this work that I've been doing, I've really put up this for myself, and say, bravo to me, Alan.
Sure, I have. I have got many things out of this, and as a person, as a guy, I've at least tried to fulfill my needs.
Yes,
Yeah, if I need a t-shirt, a good one,
yes,
I can easily get it. If I need, so I have satisfied myself with these basic needs. Then another thing, I have managed to purchase my own gadgets,
Wow.
some gadgets, yeah, using photography and big gadgets. I think it's not a bad,
it's not a bad start.
now.
Yeah, it's not a bad start. That is beautiful. So you know that in case they say go out of this work and you can stand on your own.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. That is a very big benefit that you have attained from me. What is your dream?
Actually, my dream as a person,
Yes, after here, what is your dream? What do you see yourself becoming?
you see, our city, me, I love our city, Mbarara, our country, Uganda at large. But my dream as a person, I would like to bring out this industry so that everyone out there, the poor, the rich, the big, the small, can all see the youth and how good photography is
Yes.
to our parents, to our children, and to people we are going to create in the future, you know? And I'm planning, maybe if all goes on well, we can get some like schools, you know,
Yes.
to teach these things at a cheaper price,
Wow.
because they are very expensive.
Mm.
You may get this course at KU, Kampala University,
Yes.
to learn this stuff, but they will tell you it's 2 million each.
Semester.
Yeah, 2 or 20 million. Yeah, and you have to buy the gadgets. So I would wish we can create that stuff, the school stuff that can train this
That
thing
is a very
at a cheaper.
that is a very
price.
good dream. Now, finally, as we conclude, Alan, we have a generation that is looking at some job opportunities or profession as being cheap, as being maybe unpopular, not liked by people. And this seems to be part of them. And many others, like small businesses around town. What information or what advice do you have for the youth outside there? Because this program is meant to bring our generation. What do you have for the youth outside here?
Now, for the youth outside there, all I can tell you is we have time. We as the youth, we have time, and we are energetic. We are still energetic
Yes.
to work. You see, my dad used to tell me one thing: work as a slave, eat like a king. You know,
Work as a slave, eat like a king. Wow.
yeah. You know, I still remember that saying. He's still alive. I still remember what he's always telling me. Because I know when he's there, think our parents have money. I don't need to work a lot, you know. Some have money. You never know where they get it from. Some you see them slaying around having money, and they forget that it's time when you will find that you have kids, you have responsibilities
Yes.
to take care of, and you start regretting the time,
you wasted.
wasted, you know. But this is the time we the youth have, you know. We have to use this chance that we've got. Now, this COVID has taught us a lot of things. We have to make money.
You have
A
to make
person,
money.
Yeah.
You have to make
To
money.
have a good family.
Yes.
To have a good life.
Yes.
You have to make money. Not as much, you know.
So
as
by the end of today, we are going to have some money from Alan.
it's okay.
It's okay.
I'll let you out.
Thank you so much, Alan. Now, as we conclude, what should we have for them? Small word for them.
Like, I was trying to say, I would like if the youth out there has any chance to work, to earn, and it's in a good way, go for it.
Business,
your
you
hand.
can even advertise on your free ticket advertise your business.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I with Sir Photography, this is our logo, and we believe that with the lights, the camera, the good capture, we can make lights so memorable. Because in life we are there for memory. Have you ever thought of that? In
It is,
life,
of course.
we are made of
I remember the
memories.
memories I had with you.
And when we are gone, actually,
Yeah.
when we are no more, people will always remember us. How? We played that life back. The life people had forgot about, we can capture videos, pictures. Guys can go through back to them and say, oh, this is Alan. I remember this guy, So we are dealing with passion, something that will stay there even when we are gone.
Wow, it is a youth feedback show. I think we have already gotten something that is so much grateful in this show. Please, our dear viewer, don't miss this show at any one point. Every Sunday, watch this show because it is so much important. These are such of the topics that we talk about because they are so much grateful for a development, for a developmental society where youth are the biggest percentage in our country. Enjoy the show as we continue. Thank you so much. A viewer is still talking about
Setting them to take this to a higher level. Until next Sunday, I am Sam Imsiwe with Adonia, and this is the youth feedback. Enjoy the rest of the watch.